Welcome to Two Nobodies with the mic.
Consider say, great job, 49ers!
The five best players ever in the NBA, Kobe Bryant is not one of them.
Rafa, you can't say anywhere that he doesn't belong in the league.
Give me that amount of money, and I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Josh Allen will never make the playoffs again.
The SEC is straight trash.
This fool was a thrum bump.
Oh, he was in one of those vests? Yeah. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Two Nobodies with the mic, episode 105? 106?
106.
106, man. How's everyone out there doing? We are live on YouTube, guys. We are the gambling show of record, everyone. And we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. We did college football last night. We're going to post a bunch of stuff on that. Tonight, we're going to focus on NFL, baby. NFL is king. But let me introduce the crew. You have the guru drinking some radioactive juice. Yes.
Yeah,
Rafa, the guru, man. How you doing, Papa? The studio is fire. It's
Thank you.
fire. Like those
Thank you.
guys, those aren't mini helmets. Those are the real deal, man.
They're the real deal. They're autographed. Everything.
Have you
We got
tried
Bo
to-
Jackson.
Oh yeah, well,
We got
see
Bo. We have Michael Vick. We got a couple Ray Lewis's, and we got Cooper Kupp across the way.
well,
Not pictured.
what is it going to take for you to try one of those on the live show?
Oh, a lot. I don't think. You know what? The Ray Lewis Miami one might fit me.
Yeah, dude, that Miami one is fire. Speaking of Ray Lewis, you guys see the breaking news?
No.
Deion Sanders has opened up a can of worms. Ray Lewis, it's rumored that he is the leading candidate for Florida International, FIU,
FIU.
I believe, which,
Nice.
I mean, that'd be awesome, man, for all these Hall of Famers. I mean, you want to give back. That's how you give back. I just don't know when you're, retired and worth millions that a coaching job, dude, coaching at any level. I coached freaking Pop Warner. That my life was hell. It was like, dude, film study. It's just a lot, but kudos to him. I can't believe you didn't hear that, Rafa.
I did not hear it.
Well, we
If it was
also
news
have
today. I was out of the. I was out
okay.
out of it. Everything today.
Well, that explains the apple martinis.
Well,
Well,
true.
Eddie Money is also in the house, executive producer. What up, man?
What is up, man?
How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Everyone
good.
doing well tonight. A beautiful Wednesday night. We're spread all over Southern California. That's the beauty of the intranet. So, guys, episode 106. We only have one rule on this show. Eddie Money, can you tell them what that rule is?
Don't be a loser, man.
Don't be a loser, man. We're going to give you some plays, and play at your own risk. Be responsible. Don't be a jackass. Yeah. That's a pretty badass song. But let's get into it, man. Every week we do a segment called You Are Fired. We also do hirings, and it's just a mythical or just something that's grinding your gears if you want to get off your chest. Who wants to start off with You Are Fired this week?
I'll go first. I want to fire someone who should be fired, but nobody will think about firing them because they've been to multiple Super Bowls under him, yet to win one, by the way. But they're an underachieving team this year, and I know they've had injuries, but still, you're blowing leads late. And that's the one and only Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan. That's the only.
Are you kidding me?
They're blowing leads late. Whose fault is it when a team blows a lead late? When you lose tight games over and over and over again, when you're blowing leads late over and over and over again, the only one at fault is the head coach. There is
Well,
always. In
no,
tight
not
games,
always. Not always, because there's one factor, and that's turnovers. If there's no turnovers, then I would go coach. But if you're fumbling, if you're throwing picks, then that's
the
that's
game
a,
against Seattle last
Uh-huh.
week, the game against Seattle, they didn't turn the ball over. Seattle, they get the ball back from Seattle. They weren't able to convert on first downs.
Yeah,
So
both team threw one interception.
So they gave the ball back, and they've lost. Listen, they lost to the Rams. They blew a big lead. They almost blew the big lead against Tampa. They let Dallas right back in the game there at the end. Dallas was an onside kick away. The game they blew against Seattle last week. Like the game against Tampa, they should have lost that game as well. You have these leads, and then you're blowing the games at the end. I really believe, and I strongly believe it's always head coach. His time is running out. Like you haven't won the big game, and you're at 5-5 right now. It's not a good look. Not a good
Listen,
look.
I was down on him last year when he showed up all zacatuercas to the media day NFL. That wasn't a good look. But he is 100% going to get a pass this year due to the injuries. And listen, Rafa, I'll give you this. On a lot of things, you're always ahead of the curve. Texans not making the playoffs. No one, I mean, they still have a chance, obviously, but
well, they're in the lead, but the division has just been really bad. But they haven't looked great.
No, exactly. And I thought 4 or 5 losses. I mean,
Trevor Lawrence. Told you guys about Trevor Lawrence.
Head of the curve on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. I told you.
Don't say you're ahead of the curve.
Are you kidding? Eddie Money, I remember when we did the head-to-heads, all Eddie Money said was, "You keep giving the Steelers wins. You keep giving the Steelers wins."
It's true.
Damn right.
When we did the preseason schedules,
it's true. It's like that's true.
They always every team lost to the Steelers.
Listen, we could only hope that Shanahan. No, it's just there's no way.
one will expect him to get fired. He won't get fired.
Yeah,
but at a point, it's like you're underachieving. Like you've yet to win the big game that you've been to multiple times, and they've failed to win the game. So, but that's just
listen, Garoppolo overthrowing. I forget who it was. Right, last year's game was incredible. He's right there in Super Bowl games.
Well, he's fading right now. He's fading fast. For you to blow 3 leads like that, and basically 4 almost, because the Tampa game, they blew the lead and then had to drive down the field and get a field goal to win it. True. But you blew a lead in a game that you were controlling for most of the time. Like they had a fumble and on special teams. That was early in the third quarter. Like you should have recuperated. You should have bounced back from that. So
the other two are divisional games, and Tampa Bay is sneaky fucking good.
Tampa Bay, Seattle. They've owned and dominated Seattle. True. Since Purdy has come over. And the Rams game, you were up more than 10, I believe. And you blew that game. I know the kicker missed a field goal, but still, you still lost the game. So, I don't know. I gotta put something on him.
Eddie Money, put one of those red tabs on this take, and we will circle back.
Yes, I will get hate from it, and I will take it all. I don't give a shit.
Also,
like Jay does every week. Take it all.
CJ wants to know what you are drinking.
I am drinking apple martinis. The recipe's from Cheesecake Factory, but I do it myself. So there's no mix that you can buy. And hopefully Eddie Money, who's starting to his bartending skills, hopefully he prepares this. Yes, and when you prepare these for the ladies, they bend over, all the holes get loose and everything, man. I got my wife sitting right here. She don't even want to leave. Yeah. She's laughing her ass off. She's sitting right here. I make one of these every night, sometimes 2. It depends on the night. So
panty droppers.
100% panty droppers. And you're a young guy.
Panties drop.
You're fucking 6'3". 100%. I'm sitting right here. I'm sitting right here, no panties.
Nothing but
No
Just
panties.
a shirt. I'm just in the shirt. In a shirt, no panties.
Yes, you gotta love it. You gotta love it, man. So the controversial firing. I love it. I love it. I
gotta give
didn't
you
see
something.
that coming. I didn't
You
see
didn't.
that coming.
I got to give you something to start off with.
Yeah.
It's
Eddie
fair, it's
Money.
fair. I'm gonna do some self-reflection. I'm gonna fire myself for the intro. But I will explain why I said that. So over the offseason, the Bills lost basically all of their main guys, and I thought, no way Josh Allen will be able to single-handedly lead this team into the playoffs. And he
Wow.
is.
Wow. Yeah.
He with literally no one besides James Cook is doing that by himself, leading his team almost to to the win over Kansas City, which was phenomenal. And they got Mark Cooper. So now he has one wide receiver. Keon Coleman, not
Coming
what
back.
everybody thought we were. But yeah,
He's a rookie.
It's
fire
early,
myself.
it's
Fire
early.
myself.
Yeah. All right. I like that. I like self-awareness is good. Self-awareness is good. Can I say something about that? And I had this written down like 2 weeks ago on a show. I saw something, and I'll fire myself just real quick. I have a hiring. I came down on AR-15 after the head tap. I said he's done. There's just no way coming back for this. I was wrong to jump on that train. And I saw a very interesting comparison of Josh Allen's first 10 starts and AR-15 first 10 starts. And they were almost identical. If you remember, Josh Allen was a train wreck for a year and a half. Like,
Well, so was
people-
Peyton Manning, but we're not going to compare everyone to Peyton Manning.
no, Peyton Manning was had a bad year. Troy Aikman also a bad year. I don't think Peyton Manning threw a shit ton of. I don't think anyone ever questioned Peyton Manning, but for sure Josh Allen was questionable, and I'm not sure was it Brian Dable. I don't know what, but let's give AR-15, or I will give AR-15 a little more time before I pass my judgment on that, because the numbers, Rafa, were almost exact. I think even AR-15 had a better touchdown interception ratio. So I know where you stand on this. You don't have to.
You know this.
Yeah, yeah. But I am going to hire someone. I want to be the positive guy on the show. And I've been really tough on this organization. Very tough on this organization. But I am going to hire, number one, LeBron James, the chosen one. I am going to hire the Lakers organization. I am going to hire Rob Pelinka. And for one simple fact, they finally, and Rafa and I have said this since the beginning of time, LeBron James needs shooters. And we could not, for some reason, find a shooter when everyone else in the league seems like they have a good shooter. And if you guys don't know, Dalton Connect 3 from Tennessee, I think he went to UNI, the 23-year-old, dropped down to pick 17. And if you're living under a rock, scored 37 points last night and was just unbelievable. And the Lakers have a shooter, Rafa. And it's so exciting to see. Now, let's go to 1A on that. The reason I'm all in on LeBron James. First of all, he's playing. He had 4 triple doubles in a row.
It was 3, but you might be right.
He was on the verge of 4. I know he had 3 for sure. I thought he got to 4.
You're probably right.
He's been unbelievable. He's like aging like a bottle of Lafite, 1961 Lafite, freaking Bordeaux. But if you guys didn't see, he's taking a step back from social media today and taking a break, which is hard to believe. But he mentioned all the negativity. But his interview last night was just awesome. I just loved it. They asked him about Dalton Connect, and he said, I followed him at Tennessee, da 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 da. He got a lot of shit for that. People think he's a liar or whatever. But I'm gonna read his quote, and I love that he was real and used the F word. His LeBron's quote on Dalton Connect. They didn't find DK. The other 16 teams just fucked it up. You don't find an SEC player of the year. That I embrace that LeBron, man. Like, he didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't say like, "Oh, we're geniuses." He dropped an F-bomb, and it's just so true, right? Like, he's a 23-year-old SEC player of the year, averaged 22 points a game. He has that quick release. And dude, I'm so excited to see what LeBron can be with an awesome AD who's been incredible, an MVP candidate this year, a shooter that's going to spread the floor, a coach that we gave credit to in JJ Redick that seems to really get it, and a LeBron James, a 39-year-old LeBron James that does not seem to be slowing down, only seems to be getting better. So that's my hiring. I'm an MJ guy, but LeBron, dude, I dug the quote, and I thought it was amazing. They could have patted themselves on the back, and he just basically said like, no, we didn't do anything right. Everyone else is fucked up. I'm curious on your thoughts, Rafa, on that whole ordeal.
Oh, I think we said when it happened that we thought it was a good draft pick for them because he could score the basketball, and they need more scores. I still think though they need one more scorer off the bench.
Thank you, CJ.
That he's been phenomenal, and and LeBron's been phenomenal, and AD. I mean, if you're looking, you give AD good. Some MVP votes right now.
Oh, for sure. He's top 3.
Oh, 100%. He's playing great. And so the Lakers, I think that adding another piece, and everyone gave them shit for JJ Redick, LeBron's friend, blah, blah, blah. Dude, JJ knows what's going on. He understands the game. He understands the way LeBron plays. And I think LeBron has respect there for him. So I think they're doing just fine.
Did you see the TikTok that Hakatomi Plaza sent us on the breakdown on this backside triangle that JJ Redick is running? It's pretty fucking impressive. If you guys haven't seen it, yeah, Matt, he's a pure scorer, man. He is, and it's just not a catch and shoot. He could put the ball, on the hardwood and take it to the hole. He has a mid range, and the thing is with the NBA draft, everyone's so high on potential. He was a 23-year-old kid that transferred a couple places, only had 1 year at Tennessee, and the NBA, and you know what, the NFL too. It's all about what you can be, and this kid was clearly, being the SEC Player of the Year, a great scorer. So that's my hiring. I haven't had a hiring in a while.
It's a great hiring. It's the best job you've done hiring someone.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
By the way, Will Hanley, he said he wants to fire Netflix for that horrific Tyson Paul fight. Good luck hosting 2 NFL games on Christmas.
I don't know
how that's gonna work.
Will, you know what? I was on the East Coast for that. I don't know how people do it. I stayed up till 2 watching that garbage. Luckily I already had Netflix. I would never ever pay for that shit. It's not that I hate Jake and whatever, Paul. I think they're geniuses. I think they're marketing geniuses. Hats off to them for becoming millionaires the way they have. I don't have hate for them. But I am shocked that the Las Vegas Commission actually allows gambling on these fights. I 100%. And I've seen people are sending this shit to me all the time about the tapping. Hey, go easy. I 100% think they're rigged.
Oh, 100%. Matt sent me a video on it today.
Okay, maybe Matt, he probably did to me as well. A bunch of people did, and yeah, like 100%, they're fucking rigged.
Yeah, it's
Which
bad.
is-
Yeah, was not
So-
a fan. Matthew Ocho was roasting me because I had some new clothes on my bed, but they're gone now.
There you go.
And he also said if they got the John Morant type of shooters on the Lakers.
No, those are just the fans, Matt. Those are
Yeah.
just the fans.
Oh, stop it.
I'm gonna shit on LA fans every chance I get. Raiders,
Yeah.
Lakers, Dodgers, Trojans. Every chance I get, I'm shitting on them.
What about UCLA? Why aren't UCLA?
I told you it's a
fans
different
thugs?
shade because the different shade for
my.
UCLA is more of an educated person, to be honest with you.
Matthew Rocha understood the concept. I saw it.
Geological, not skin tone. Geological.
So,
Well,
Anyone else have out there in YouTube land? If anyone has a firing, go ahead. Your shot is now. If you want to fire or hire someone, this is an interactive show, so go ahead and let us know.
that was a good one from Will. I don't know how Netflix is going to live stream 2 NFL games on Christmas. We'll see how that goes.
It's ridiculous. I love Netflix.
I do too, but their live was terrible.
by the way, I have us live on my TV up here, up on the top.
Uh-huh.
So, and it's tough to watch because it's on a little bit of a delay.
Oh,
Or whatever. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, Matthew Roach got a good one. He said, "Fire Aaron Rodgers for getting the whole Jets fired." GM gone, Robert Saleh gone. GM was a good GM. He made very good picks.
Did you hear what came out? The owner fired Saleh without even telling the GM. And also the owner wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers week 4. That came out.
For who?
Yeah, for who?
Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor. The Jets are officially a shit show. I mean, as much as the Giants are a shit show, and as much as the Raiders are a shit show, the Jets, because you have talent on defense, you have talent on offense.
Yeah, talent everywhere.
Yeah, you got a left tackle, a Hall of Fame left tackle. You have a great guard from USC. I mean, there's talent everywhere. And I just feel at this point, I mean, you saw the winning percentages of Sam Darnold was at 326, and then you had Zach Wilson at like 313, and then
No, he was first. Zach Wilson was first.
Oh, was he first?
Yeah, Zach Wilson was first.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was the last of the 3.
Yeah, dude. You can't be a quarterback, and I know Aaron Rodgers doesn't need preseason games. I know he's a genius. I know he's one of the best quarterbacks that ever lived. But your quarterback has to be the first guy in the building, the last one to leave. And that's just not Aaron Rodgers at this stage of his career. And it was a recipe for a disaster. And let the record reflect that I wanted Aaron Rodgers. Like, I would probably still take him right now. That's how bad the Raiders are. So I'm not going to get on my soapbox and pretend like, oh, look at fucking Aaron Rodgers. Sucks. But this is a shit show of a 9.8 magnitude at this point.
Speaking of shit show, not the dog Shih Tzu. Cincinnati Bengals offense performing outstandingly. Joe Burrow, his stat turned out he has 3,000 plus passing yards, 27 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Through the first 11 games, he's 4-7 or 4-6.
4-7.
Yeah,
best 4-7 team probably in the history of the NFL.
Just to compare other quarterbacks in the past years that have had stats similar to that, Tom Brady in 2007 and 2015, he was 16-0 and 13-3. Aaron Rodgers in 2011 and 2020, he was 15-1 and 13-3. Mahomes in 2020 was 14-2. and Drew Brees in 2018 was 13-3. So
I'd love-
who does the Bengals have to blame here? Is it Zach Taylor or the D coordinator?
Dude, the defense. Listen, we see them as bad, but statistically, if you look at their stats, yes, they're at the bottom of the league, but they're middle bottom. They're like 24-25. Like the Falcons have a worse defense than them, and they've still won 6 games. So there's certain shit. Like, where was their offense in the first half of that game on Sunday night? They got into the game when the game basically felt like it was over. It was 27-6. And then when they had multiple opportunities to get a touchdown, they end up getting field goal attempts, which was a shit show.
Missed.
Because both wide
Yes.
left. And I know you settled for a field goal on the second one, but you should have been able to, hey, if you're setting it up, like, listen, where does my kicker like it? Do you want it on this side? Do you want it on that side? Let's run the ball that way. Let's not get a fucking incomplete pass. Their offense was efficient when they were down 21. Their offense wasn't efficient at the beginning of the game, and it wasn't efficient the last 4 minutes of the game. So I think it's Zach Taylor.
Okay, I was hoping you weren't going there because I know you're not a huge fan of Cool Joe Burrow.
I'm not, because he has a losing record in his last 25 games.
Yeah, but Rafa, you just said. I mean, first of all, I said it on our cut bet. The Chargers led the league in points against, 13.1. That defense is playing outstanding, and Joe Burrow found a way to win that game. And your kicker, blows it. I mean, he's been fantastic. So, I know earlier in the year I said, how do you fire Zach Taylor? He's took you to a Super Bowl. But someone has to take the fall. And there's only, so many head coaches in this league, and the buck stops with the head coach and the quarterback. The quarterback is playing well, which means the head coach must go.
Sounds like the Kyle Shanahan situation a little bit, no?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I can't believe I'm here defending Kyle Shanahan.
You are.
Crazy.
To be fair, this team is fully healthy. Their offense statistics, they're top 10 in basically everything, and their defense is bottom 10 in just about everything.
Yeah, and that the running back who
Chase Brown,
he's a stud. He's badass.
Mm-hmm,
So they didn't really. I know Mixon is having a great year, and Texas got him on a really cheap deal, but I don't think Mixon is a running back is not an issue.
No, definitely not. I mean, they're number 6 in points per games. They're number 9 in yards a game. They're number 6 in points of play, number 11 in yards per play. They're number 5 in third down conversion, number 2 in red zone scoring in terms of touchdown percentage, and number 5 in touchdowns a game.
And can we say that Higgins
is going to ball out wherever he goes next year because he's not staying there.
So I want to look at this real quick. Sorry, Eddie.
Go ahead.
There's the 3 other losses. Just off the top of my head, the 3 losses, the 2 losses to the Ravens and the loss to the Chargers, the offense scored a shit ton of points. Where the fuck was that offense at home against the Eagles? Where the fuck was that offense week 1 against the Bengals? Where the fuck was that offense against the Redskins on Monday night? Like, where was it? I don't know.
Eddie Money just gave you the numbers. Offense,
I don't know.
You're not going to score on every drive.
They scored 7 points at home against the Eagles. 7 points.
I don't have an excuse for that.
I don't have an excuse either, but
what about week 1 against New England? What about week 1 against New England? Why does Joe Burrow, in his history, since he came into this league, he struggles the first 2 weeks of the season?
Because he's been injured. Because he's been injured in camp.
Every year he's injured in camp. Every year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. That is a thing, though.
It's been more than less for sure.
Yeah.
He's had the calf thing. He's had
I need to see this. They're 1-4 at home. Listen, they scored 10. Look at this. They scored 10 points. They scored 10 points against New England in week 1. At home, by the way. Okay. They beat the Panthers. So they scored 34 against the Panthers, 41 against the Ravens. They scored 17 points at the road at the Giants. And let's not forget, that game was 10-7 going into the fourth quarter. They scored 17 points against the Eagles. The game was basically 37-7. So I just feel like it's a little bit of both. That's the one there.
I feel like you're missing these big games, Rafa. 33 against the Redskins, 34.
That game was over, though. That game was
38
over
against the Ravens.
Yeah, no, I'm saying anything about I told you they had great, but if you look at the Redskins game, the game was 38-26, and it was 31-20. The touchdown at the end was a garbage touchdown.
It's can we chalk it up to it's the NFL?
No, because when you're an elite quarterback, when you're elite,
he
cannot keep doing this. He
put his team in multiple positions to win last week. Multiple. He's not kicking the fucking ball. He's not playing outside linebacker.
Should have got him closer. Should have scored a touchdown. After the first missed field goal, I take that shit into my own hands. You think Tom Brady's going out there? Or Mahomes is going out there?
I do got to agree with that.
Like,
okay. If he can't get the job done, let me get it done.
I want to move on from this, but I'm going to say this is going to enrage Rafa. Who's playing better quarterback right now? Patrick Mahomes?
Josh Allen.
Or no, I'm not. I'm only giving you two options. Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. Put Joe Burrow on that Kansas City team?
No, we can't do this.
No, you cannot.
With that defense.
What does Joe Burrow do without weapons? What does he do without weapons? We've never seen him. We don't know. Guess who we've seen without shit, with actual dog shit, and a man who plays tight end who thinks he might get pregnant one day. Actual dog shit.
I regret bringing that up. Can we move on?
Bad take. Bad take. You compare him to Birdie or some shit, but not Patty Mahomes.
No, he was doing this. We went to sushi the other night, Eddie Money, and Joe, he's jinxing it. Like, it was the Ravens. It was the night of and he's like, Joe Burrow sucks. Joe Burrow sucks. This game's over, and Joe Burrow's just like throwing dart, touchdown, dart, touchdown. I'm like, Rafa, stop it. This dude is a G. He's a fucking badass, and just giving Joe Burrow no credit. I'm like, no, stop it. I need the Ravens to win here.
He's phenomenal. 27 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Joe Burrow's phenomenal. The problem is, when you need a touchdown in a crucial point in the game, he obviously ain't fucking getting it.
Would you say it's fair that if his team had a winning record, that he would be in MVP talks?
Oh,
what winning record though? Not 8-2. If he was 8-2, yeah, but
he's not MVP. Yeah,
let's say he was 7-4.
No, like you flip this. There's no way, because Josh Allen is
he said talk, not leader.
Not leader.
In the talk.
No, what about Jared Goff?
Well, he's in the talk as well, but that's a more complete team.
He's in the shit. Like, he's in the shit. He ain't. We're not talking about it. Like, that motherfucker's in the shit. Like, if we had to do a Heisman watch right now on the 3 finalists for the MVP of the NFL, it's fucking Josh Allen, Jared Goff, and then throw in somebody else, Jaden Daniels or something. Not this man who's at 4-7.
Stop leaving out Lamar Jackson.
It's so funny.
Stop it.
If you go to, I quickly searched up NFL awards, MVP odds. Boom, number 1's Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, dude. He won the MVP last year, and he's having a better year this year than he did last year.
Are we serious? Let's touch on Lamar. You want to touch on Lamar? I did a piece on this a couple weeks back. No, neither do I. Dude, I did something on this a couple weeks ago where showing everyone that his inability to pass the ball is costing his team games. I'm sorry. He threw great. Guess who the 2 games that he threw more than 22 passes that he won? Both of the game against the Bengals. After that, every other game where he's thrown, after that, every game where he's thrown over 22 passes, they haven't won.
Listen,
they have not won.
We're going to get into this later, but I can't unsee Lamar scrambling to the left, stepping over the pocket, going to the right, going 360 and throwing a first down dart to Zay Flowers in the middle of his fucking number 4, and he fucking like a Pop-Tart fucking papa.
No, I can't unsee that
off
either.
fucking chest.
I also can't unsee Kyle Hamilton dropping an interception against the Browns to seal the game. I also cannot unsee Lamar going 10 for 25 against the Steelers and until 10 for 25 until that last drive, by the way. So I can't unsee that either.
I just want to say, to have it on the record, though, Lamar Jackson is plus 200. He's second.
I will take any bet. If anyone wants to bet, I'll take any bet.
Cut it
Lamar,
up.
Cut bet. I'll give you Lamar Jackson as the MVP. 5-1 odds. I'll take the rest of the fucking field.
Hold on. Say
That's
that
pretty-
again. Say that again, because I'm going to my my loan officer, my chairman of the bank, and I'm going to bring this video to him. And I said, I need some collateral. Say that again, Rafa.
All right. So Lamar Jackson is currently sitting at a 2-1 favorite to win the MVP. I will give anyone who wants it on cut, but it has to be this week. It can't be next week. It has to be this week. I will give you 5-1 odds. I get the field. You guys get Lamar Jackson. I will take the field wins MVP, and you take Lamar Jackson and at 5-1 odds. That's better than Vegas. Vegas is giving you 2-1. I will give you 5-1 odds, and I have the entire field that Lamar Jackson will not win the MVP.
Your wife is gonna kill you. So if I put up $100 and Lamar,
you get 500.
But the bet has to go in this week.
Has to go in this week.
Oh, Sim, cut bet. Cut it up, Sim.
That's
Oh my
pretty good.
God. Oh, please. I'm flying to South Carolina right now.
I'm doing it.
How much is there a cap on this? Because people, Sim, a cut bet's gonna crash like Netflix after this fucking thing. Because
I'm putting it out there.
that is great odds.
You can't beat them.
nice.
You love Pittsburgh. That defense is playing amazing, Rafa. Pittsburgh kicked
Let me
6
look at this
field goals, Papa.
Their inability to score they had the ball, I think, 5 times inside the 10-yard line. Their inability to call plays inside of the 10-yard line is what kept that game even close. There should have been no reason why they shouldn't have put up 2 touchdowns at least. That game should have been at least 27 to 10 or 16.
Yeah, that was a horrible play by Russell Wilson in the end zone throwing that.
That
pick.
was terrible. That cost them also that cost them another field goal that in reality kept the Ravens in the game.
You're right.
So, but I want to look up the stats on this game just so you see what I've been preaching for the last 4 weeks on Lamar, and I love him. I think he's the most dynamic player in the NFL. Dynamic, there's no doubt about it. But the problem with him, he had a game he was 16 for 33. 16 for 33. And to start that drive at the end, the man was 10 of 25. He closed the game of 6 of 7. By the way, and the 6 of 7 was that drop. One of the only drop was the drop by Zay Flowers. But when you only give the ball to Derrick Henry 13 times, that's a problem. When Lamar was only able to run the ball 4 times, that's a problem. And Baltimore needs to realize that. Every game you've won, with the exception of the 2 games against the Bengals, Lamar has thrown the ball under 22 times. In Dallas, they dominated that game. It got tight at the end, but I was there, dominated. I think he threw 19 attempts. I think he had 19 pass attempts. He's had perfect passer rating games, throwing the ball less than 22 times.
He's had
he's efficient.
He's thrown 5 touchdowns in a game this year, and he's done it in the past.
He's done it, and he's thrown 5 touchdowns in under 22 pass attempts, I believe.
Oh,
except the game against the Bengals.
Rafa, you're preaching to the choir, man. I agree with 100% of what you're saying. What is his name? Wink Martindale from, right? Is it Wink or Blink 182, the offensive coordinator?
Yeah, from Georgia.
There has to be a huge board of Derrick Henry carries. And by the way, Jamal Hill, the backup running, Justin, he's fucking badass too.
Jamal Hill's a UFC player.
Yeah. That's right. But if you're John Harbaugh, you like, if you don't give King Henry the ball 22 times, I'm just gonna fire you. I don't care if it's 3rd and 17. I don't care. Like, that has to be a priority.
Yep,
I mean,
you
maybe he
gotta-
can't carry it 22 times, but give it to him 18, 19, man.
Yeah, got to secure that one game with him. But
Yeah.
getting off the QB talk a little bit and going into a quick little segment where I gave you guys 5 NFC teams and 5 AFC teams. I'll list them right here. We got the Lions, Vikings, Packers, Redskins, Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Steelers, and Texans. And I asked you guys to list them 1 through 10. I just want to hear where you guys have them at.
So I didn't break it down by division or conference.
No,
I
I didn't want you
okay,
to. I wanted
okay.
like 1 through 10. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go through them. Rafa, give me your funny faces. I got the Lions 1, and I don't think anyone can disagree with that. I've been saying it for 3 years. I love me some Dan Campbell, man. You knock me down, I'm biting your kneecaps off. I'm doing all that shit. I think about you all the time. That's all I do, man, is I think about you. You got to trust me. I got the Lions, number 1. And little side note on that, this is why Jared Goff isn't going to win the MVP, because they're the most complete team in the NFL. They built that team from the inside out, best offensive line. Anyways, Lions are number 1. I have the Buffalo Bills. Devil soup, baby. I got the Buffalo Bills at number 2. This is where Rafa's going to give me kind of a quirky look. At number 3, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I think you play that game again from last week. I think the Ravens win it, probably 75% of the time. Number 4, by the way, NFC has been won. The rest is all AFC. I have the Chiefs. They find a way to get it done. Amazing coach, amazing defensive coordinator, talent, and they have Patty Mahomes. Number 5, Rafa, you're going to give me a pat on the back. I have the Steelers. That defense is just incredible. Listen, Mike Tomlin is a leader of men. I thought that Russell Wilson would be the downfall of that team. It hasn't been. 6, I have the Eagles. 7, I have the Packers. 8, I have the Vikings. 9, I have the Texans. And 10, I have the Redskins, who are declining fast.
Not a bad list. Not a bad list. But I disagree with you on a handful of things.
That's why we do this show.
So I'm going to start from 10. I have the Texans at number 10. I think they haven't looked as great as they as good as they could look and they should look. And I know they had some injuries and stuff like that. So I have the Texans at 10. I have the Vikings at number 9. I think they're pretenders. I think they're just, I don't think they're as good as people think they are. And I know they're 8-2. Their defense looked phenomenal in the beginning. They've kind of faded a little bit. I have the Redskins at number 8. I have the San Diego Superchargers at number 7. I have the Eagles at number 6. I have the Ravens at number 5. The Chiefs at number 4.
We're same with the Chiefs.
The Pittsburgh Steelers at number 3.
Wow.
They can play that game 100 times in Pittsburgh. 99 times the Steelers win. How many games in a row has Pittsburgh won in Pittsburgh? Okay. And they dominated that game, basically.
Okay.
And dominated the game. The Bills at number 2. And I know, people are going to say, oh, these idiots, the Ravens beat. Listen, that was 4 weeks ago that that the Bills beat the crap out of the Ravens. Okay. Or the Ravens beat the crap out of the Bills. And then at number 1, the Lions, they look the best. They finish, which I love. They put the fuck to teams.
Yeah, people are complaining. There should be no complaining.
There should be no complaining. Okay. They understand how to finish a game. Let's get our starters on the bench in the fourth quarter. Let's put the fuck to teams. Let's do an Oregon against UMass, Georgia against UMass. Let's do that on Sundays against the Jags and the Cowboys and all these inferior teams to show what we do. And the Lions are I believe right now the best machine on the football field on Sundays.
Yeah. Shame on you if you're complaining about it and you're in a professional organization. Number one, this is not Pop Warner. This is not high school. This is not college. This is the NFL. Everyone gets draft picks, and there's a salary cap. There's a salary cap. So I think it's fucking awesome throwing it to your guards. I think it, dude, Dan Campbell, bro. God, I love me some Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell soup, man. Give me some sirloin burger. Eddie,
I'm surprised.
Are you gonna give your list Eddie money?
You guys weren't as far off as I thought you guys would be, honestly.
We both had Chiefs at 4.
I was surprised. I do agree with Rafa said, like in Pittsburgh, they play the Ravens 99 out of 100 times. Something about the Steelers in Pittsburgh playing against the Ravens, it just unlocks like the 80s, 90s mentality. And
we got another 80
defensive game.
We got another one this week. It's an 80s. I know one of them is 8-2 and the other one's 2-8. But this Browns Ravens game, no. Browns Steelers game, it just has that Tecmo Bowl feel, man.
We can hop into it right now.
Let's get into it, man.
All right, man. Thursday night football. Steelers are favored by 3.5 going into the Browns. Over under of 37.
So I'll start off first, if you don't mind, Rafa.
Go ahead.
First of all, okay, the Browns have 8 straight wins on Thursday night, okay? Or 5 straight wins. 2 of them against the Steelers. So Browns show up on Thursday, okay? Now, I think Winston threw for over 300 again. I love James Winston.
He threw for 400, by the way.
Was it 400? Oh my
I think
God.
it was 400.
I thought it was 396 or 395. But anyways, same fucking difference.
395.
395. I would be nervous. First of all, divisional game in the cold. Pittsburgh, Cleveland. I mean, Thursday night it's going to be fucking cold. Now, let's add some little Salt Bay on this fucking thing. There is a little underlining social media story in this game. You know, Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year last year. TJ Watt took second, right? And I guess when it happened, when he got his award, TJ Watt posted on social media, nothing I'm not used to, you know, like, I don't know. And it became a thing. Like, bro, Myles Garrett was 100% deserving of that award. He was incredible last year. That defense at home was incredible last year. So listen, when you put it on the internet, it's out there and it doesn't get read. Someone brought it up this week and they brought it up to Myles Garrett and they said, listen, have you guys talked about that? Were you disrespected? He's like, listen, you know, I won that last year and if he has a problem with it, whatever. But he said, someone asked him, has TJ Watt like confronted you about it since then? He said no, but he's gonna have to apologize to me when he sees me about that. So when you think about this game, you have, you know, the 2 best defensive ends playing, and there's a little underlining, you know, social media, junior girls in high school, you stole my boyfriend, but I'm hotter type of vibe. I think these guys are going to kill quarterbacks. I mean, TJ Watt doesn't need to be motivated, and neither does Myles Garrett, but I would love to see what's going to happen with these two. So I think this is a great Thursday night game. I don't give a fuck if it's 0-3. This is what I want to see. And you know that our boy Jameis Winston doesn't give a shit if he throws 70 picks. He's going to let it go downfield. So that's my take on this game. Rafa, I would love to hear yours.
Man, you know what? The Browns at home last year, they were phenomenal on defense.
Mm-hmm.
This year, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
This year at home, they've struggled. They've only won one game at home, and it was a game they beat the Ravens, and that game you had some drops or whatever. Kyle Hamilton dropped an interception to seal that game, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and Matthew Rocha just brought it up in the comments, and I was going to bring that up. I think this is it. I think the same that Myles Garrett game
Mason
with the
Rudolph.
helmet. Yeah, I think that was
Yes.
also on a Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken.
You're probably right. Yes.
I think it was also on a Thursday night. I don't think we're going to get that with Russell Wilson and Miles.
No,
and
Russell
Miles-
Wilson will not do that.
No, but I like the Steelers to win the game. I like it to be tight. But the Steelers coming off a huge win on Sunday. But this is the NFL. Like, this is not college. They should bounce right back. And you can't lose games like this if you're the Steelers, because number one, the Chiefs have a loss. You're also vying for a bye potentially, right? You're in the hunt for a bye. It's now realistic that it's in the horizon. It's in your sights. You can see it. These are games that they cannot drop. You want to be an elite team. You're an elite franchise. You want to be an elite team this year. You cannot lose these games. And I think they go down to Cleveland. And I say down because they're coming from Pittsburgh, which is north of Cleveland. So
It's
they're
those
traveling
Apple
south.
martinis. Apple martinis.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know Pittsburgh is traveling south, okay, to Cleveland. And I think they're going to go in there, and I think they're going to win this game. And I think they're going to win this. I think they're going to dominate the line of scrimmage on defense. And Cleveland's offensive line isn't very good. And Winston's not going to get away with throwing shit up as he has before. So
he never does.
No, he doesn't.
Ricky Flores is in the chat, fellas. OG, what's up, tricksters? What up, man?
Hey, so you
Go
think you think they win? Do you think that they cover? You think the Steelers cover?
3.5 on Thursday night, man. I always like the under on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Even at 37?
Yeah, I don't think when you watch these two teams,
You saw what
how
they
much-
just Ravens.
yeah, and if we look,
was
you
in
can look at their home games. They had a tight game against the Giants at 21-15. That was at home. They had a tight game against the Bengals at 21-14. That was also at home. They had a Charger game at 27-10, which is also under as well at home. And so the only game that they've had at home that has gone over was the Ravens game and the Cowboys game. So, that, and those were more of a explosive offenses at that time for Dallas anyways. It was week one. So I like the under here on Thursday night, always. And the 3.5 seems tight, but I think the Steelers could cover. I don't think they blow them out, but I think the Steelers do cover.
Well, leave it to big
How
the
is
big roach.
Cleveland north of Pittsburgh?
He's gonna show you. He's gonna fucking show you a chart. And then
Matthew,
you're gonna
pull up a. Last time I checked, Cleveland is Ohio sits down here and Pennsylvania sits up here.
let me ask you this, Eddie. My last question on this game.
Yeah.
Because
Cleveland is north of Pittsburgh.
Really? How the fuck
Yeah,
is that? I gotta look at the map.
Are you looking at it upside down?
I gotta look at it. My God.
Eddie Money, I really thought Najee Harris, and this is probably one of the reasons I thought Warren was going to be their lead back. I thought Najee Harris's feet got really slow last year. I thought he was cooked. I thought he was done.
I'm
And
with you
he looks, dude, Warren has been a third down back. Najee's been really good. I don't know if he's lost weight or what. I wish Luke was on here.
Sorry to interrupt you. Matthew is right. It is north, but by a little.
He said it's a map, not a chart.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map. Oh fuck!
You didn't have to go into Google Docs and print something up for that. I saw the map.
I saw the map. I need another fucking drink.
Yes, get him a Cheesecake Factory apple martini.
I'm gonna cap off Jackie's here.
I love it.
I'm with you on Najee Harris. He's improved significantly from last year in terms of like his feet movement, but I never thought Jalen Warren would take over the role of starting running back purely because of Najee's size. You could give him 15 to 20 carries and he could do that easily. I mean, he played at Bama, against big players and big talent. He's 6'1", 240. Jalen Warren
Okay.
is maybe like 5'9", 5'10".
But he had cinder blocks for feet last year, and I don't know. I mean, he had no lateral movement whatsoever. You know, I don't. I
Yeah, I don't
just
know what he did over the offseason, but whatever trainer got him in shape, man.
yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so we're on the Najee Harris train.
By the way,
California player, by the way, Northern Cali.
I don't know where he played football at, but I think it was in the Southeastern Football Conference.
From
Just-
Northern California, man.
I don't know why you guys keep bringing that up. They still end up
you
where
guys,
all the good players.
yeah. Every time you guys get into this argument, it's two different things.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's that CJ has so little. CJ gets butthurt when you he gets totally
What does he
fucking
have
ass
little of?
fucked. CJ gets so ass fucked, butthurt when you bring something up. Like, bro, all the great players in California, when they actually become great, is because they ended up in the Southeastern Conference.
Dude,
So, for the
I've
most
never.
part.
Can I just bring this up real quick? Butthurt and ass fuck. That's like the triple X of version, Pornhub version of
There you go.
butthurt. Ass fucked.
100%.
Dude.
That's hilarious.
Rafa is a wordsmith.
Damn right I am. I'm like the Little Wayne of this shit.
That's funny as hell.
Oh,
Going on to the next game, game near and dear to Eddie's heart that holds a lot of sentiment. Broncos are favored by 5.5 going into Las Vegas and playing the Raiders with an over/under of 41. Eddie, tell the people what's on the line here.
Dude,
I'll tell you-
real quick. Hold on.
No,
I
go
think you
ahead,
should come
go
to my
ahead.
house. I think you should come to my house. We should watch this game with Michael Brown.
Oh,
You should come to my house. I need to watch this game with you and Michael Brown on Sunday.
So here's the deal. My oldest daughter, 30. Oh, I won't say her age, but we had her when she was when we were very young. She raised us is the joke. My daughter's super responsible, amazing human being. She is the foundation of our family. Married another. I mean, Michael Brown. He even spells Brown with an E. He's so proper. Like so the Browns are
Slave owners.
hardcore Denver Bronco fans, and obviously, you know, there you go, baby. There you go. Da, 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 da. Right there, okay. Hardcore Raider lovers. And when my daughter first got pregnant, we put a huge wager on the line that whoever won in the 2-game series, that my granddaughter would wear that team's colors for that, you know, period of time till the other person won. Well, my Gucci mama, my darling, beautiful grandchild who has me wrapped around her finger, when she came into this world, we went on an incredible run that was just broken this year. I think 7 years or 7 games in a row, not 7 years. She's only 3 years old. And so she hasn't seen the orange and blue yet, because so long story short, this game is very important to me. Now, when it comes to a breakdown of this game, there's nothing to talk about. There is no breakdown. They're better than us at almost every position except for tight end. There's only one thing that's important in this game, and that is Shedeur Sanders going to tweet thank God or praise God, thank you God, after the Broncos kick our ass by 17 points. That's really the only thing to talk about. And you see it all over, at least I see it all over social media right now. I just saw it today. Someone sent it to me today. I don't know whose show it was, but you know, Primetime Sanders was on a talk show with, you know, the mayor of Compton, Ice Cube, and Primetime asked Ice Cube, he's like, he literally said, "What would you do if you were me?" And Ice Cube's like, "What do you mean?" Like, he's like, and Ice Cube responded by saying, well, I would continue to mentor these young men. He goes, should I do more? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, and then the host is like, what he's trying to tell you is, should I go to the NFL and coach my sons as well? He literally said it out of his mouth. Like, should I leave and coach my sons? This is becoming more and more of a reality. And Rafa's going to let you know right now that I did on this show said that I would not be a Raider fan ever again, that if we drafted Shedeur Sanders. It is becoming more and more clear that Tom Brady and Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders have a pact. And it's looking like they're going to go to Las Vegas, Rafa. And I don't know how I feel about this. Can you walk me through this? Can you put me on the couch? And because it could be either the worst shit show of NFL of all time. I mean, or could they actually pull something off and raise the Raiders organization from the ashes like a phoenix?
Oh, that's going to take a lot more than Tom Brady, Shedeur Sanders, and Deion Sanders to raise you from the ashes. I mean, you're gonna need a whole lot of other shit going on. I don't know if Shedeur is that. Shedeur is phenomenal. I believe he's phenomenal. But the NFL is a whole different animal, and he's playing playing the Big 12 right now, which is a little bit of a softer conference compared to others. Okay, and I know CJ a little bit. The CJ's gonna get all butt hurt.
Arizona State's like fucking 8-2,
dude. They yes, but they're the toughest team in that conference. So, but other than that, there's no toughness in the Big 12, and there hasn't been for years.
Arizona State was never fucking 8-2 in the fucking Pac-12 conference for fucking 40 years,
and now they're in the Big.
And now they're in the Big 12, and they're kicking ass.
So it tells you how bad the conference really is. But a lot of people that hate the Raiders are going to want to see it. Ed. They're going to want to see it. They're going to want to see the shit show that could become Shedeur and Deion. You know how I feel about Deion on the sidelines. I don't think he's a great coach. I think he's a phenomenal recruiter, motivator, all of that.
Can I give you a chance to reel this back? We talked about this. He's not a great game manager.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
But you can be a good coach and not be a great game manager, I feel like.
I don't think you're successful when you do that. And I don't know.
I feel like that goes hand in hand, or it should go hand in hand.
Listen.
By the way, Rick Flores says if he goes to the Raiders, Daddy won't coach. If he goes to Dallas, Daddy coaches.
Oh, people are talking about that too, man.
Matthew Rocha says Deion primetime Vegas Sanders.
I mean, my God. I think if anyone needs a facelift in the NFL, if anyone is hurting, obviously the Chargers, because no one thinks we still call them the San Diego Superchargers.
We do.
There's like 30 fans. They need to go back to San Diego. But when you think of a franchise, Carolina, obviously, or Jacksonville, they want him to go to Europe. But Vegas, for being the proud, well, I know you're not going to agree with this, Rafa, for being the proud franchise with 3 Super Bowl.
I don't understand that.
They are struggling mightily in Vegas. When the Golden Knights, a franchise team, you go to Vegas and go to any bartender in any hotel, they are diehard Golden Knights.
Oh, diehard.
Vegas loves the Golden Knights. It's a bond. It was that horrible country shooting. They came, that was a bonding experience. But the Vegas locals have not embraced the Raider organization. And
can I tell you why? I would tell you why.
Because they suck?
No, it's not because they suck. It's not because they suck. It's because the Vegas locals, a high percentage of them work in the hotels and the casinos. They see, and all you Raider fans are 94% of you are going to get offended. The fan base is trash. Like when you come in and you get completely hammered and there's fights all over the place on weekends where the Raiders play at home. Mandalay Bay is a fucking shit show. It looks like you're in fucking Pacoima. And for those of you who don't know Pacoima, just think of Watts 30
Think of
years
your-
ago,
yeah,
but with Mexicans. That's what the Mandalay Bay looks like when the Raiders play at home. And the local bartenders and all those people, they don't like it. The other thing is too that a lot of people that live in Vegas, especially when you talk to the bartenders or whatever, they and the waitresses, they're always from somewhere else.
yeah, they're transplants.
They're always from somewhere else. They're from the Midwest. They're from everywhere but Vegas. So they've already they already have a team previously, and like
Yeah.
but I've heard from a lot of fans, especially the bartenders at the Bellagio, very, very hesitant to adopt the Raiders as their team because they get irritated weekends when they play at home. They don't like it. They don't like it. And the other thing was the Golden Knights. Obviously, you mentioned the shooting. They also were good right away. It's their own team. It's a homegrown team. It was their own team. That team didn't come from somewhere. That team was theirs. It's their own team. So, and I think they'll be the same if they bring in an NBA team. I think it'll be the same thing. With the A's, I think it's going to be hesitant as well because that team's coming from somewhere else. It's not a homegrown thing. But the Raiders, like, it's been 20 plus years where they've actually been a contender in the league. For a franchise with so much history, your irrelevance for 20 plus years is ridiculous. It's not the Steelers are a franchise of history. The Cowboys, whether you like it or not, haven't won. They at least make the playoffs. They win 12 games. They win 13 games. They get to the playoffs. The Raiders' irrelevance in the league is bad. So
Can I retort on the trash Raider fans being a Raider fan? Obviously, I grew up very close to South Central LA, right outside the Dodger Stadium. I knew the Raiders had to leave, and whenever they left in '90 or whatever, it was so bad. It was horrible. They went back to Oakland. It got better. There was more respectable fans, more knowledgeable, more respectable. And then they go to Vegas, and you're outnumbered now. If you start a fight as a Raider fan, you're getting your ass kicked. What I see now, week in and week out, I don't know if it's because I live in Los Angeles, but it's a Charger game. It's a Ram game. 49er fans are straight fucking because Los Angeles has a shit ton of 49er fans. I see the fights coming from there. When's the last time you've seen fights in Vegas? It doesn't happen. So I'm going to push back on Raider fans. It was the area. Los Angeles has a bunch of dudes, cholos, that wear jerseys, don't know shit about fucking sports, like to get, high, drunk, and start fights. That's the area, man. There's actually a shit ton of really knowledgeable and good Raider fans. When they were here, absolutely the worst. Oakland, it was a notch above. I think it's more Los Angeles than it is a Raider thing. That's my retort.
I'm just giving you the take from the bartenders that I know at the Bellagio.
No, okay.
That and the videos. If you follow Vegas Scoop on Instagram, you'll see them. You will see them. Yes, it's bad. It's bad. But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, you need Shador, you need Dion, you need Tom Brady, you need Jesus. You need it all, Raider fans.
True. Eddie, what do you think about my? Is it happening? Do you think? I feel like it's getting closer and closer. I what I saw today on Instagram, because obviously Ice Cube he called himself in this interview. He said, "I'm the president of the Raider Nation," and he said, "I would love for you to become our head coach and bring your son." And this fucking shit grin that Dion had, it gave me. I'm like, oh my god, is this?
I don't know.
Happen?
NFL is a way bigger step ahead than college, and everyone is the best of the best there. I don't even know if Dion is the best coach in the Big 12. You could say right now. So
he's not.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my point. Of course, I think they're gonna draft Shador. I don't know how good his relationship is with Mark Davis to be able to get him in as a coach. That's something beyond us, but I personally don't think it happens. I feel like, and at some point for Dion, you can just let your kid like play, like not be there coaching him the whole time. Michael Brown says, "I pray it happens. Raiders would keep raiding."
Michael Brown, stop it. Stop it. Michael Brown with the E. Is my Gucci mama there? Because Gucci, I will not let you dress like a traffic cone. Papa won't let that happen, mama.
Do you think, going back to the game, you think at all the Raiders have a chance, or do you think they cover here?
I
with
do.
the
I
plus
think
6?
the Raiders. I think the Raiders are gonna fucking win this game.
Oh God, please no.
I think the Raiders are gonna win this game, man. Come on,
Dude,
Raiders. Let's go,
Why
Raiders.
does Rafa always pick the Raiders?
Yeah,
He
you know why?
always
And I
pick-
hate the Raiders.
No,
which is
I
funny.
He
know.
hates them.
I know
I
that.
hate the Raiders.
With the
Yeah, but
jersey.
the Raiders, the players themselves also hate their division opponents. They hate the Broncos. They hate the Chiefs. I don't know if they hate the Chargers though.
Tough
They're
to
good.
hate
There's
the
gonna
Chargers
be
'cause
Oh, they
it's
hate the
so
Chargers.
irrelevant for so long.
there's gonna be a certain select number of games that they're gonna try for. This is the game they're gonna try for. This
'Cause
game,
they
the
know
Chiefs
what's
game.
on the line for Eddie.
Yes, they
There's-
know that the Gucci Mama will be either in
You know
silver
what,
and
we're
black
gonna have-
or
we're-
Delta Tropico.
We are gonna have to invoke the powers of the Gucci Mama. Yes. right
Also,
here.
do you want to let the viewers know what happens in instance of a tie, 1-1? Is it go by point differential?
So this is
of the
what
two
we
games?
decided, and there's a trophy, by the way. His dad built a trophy on top of a football. I mean, it's a big deal. I've held that trophy for 3 years now. But the rule was this: if we win, then she would have to wear Raider gear till if the Broncos won, then she could wear Broncos gear till the meeting. But the stipulation was if we sweep you, then the Gucci Mama can wear Raiders the next full year. So I have a full year. Gucci's not wearing that hideous orange, and she does not going to look like she works for Caltrans for at least a year, unless we lose this year or this game. Then she would be allowed to dress up like a donkey next year.
Understood.
I love you,
Matthew Rocha.
Gucci.
Thank you, Matthew Rocha, for the compliment. Matthew Rocha says Bowden is going to put 250 on that Raiders defense.
Dude,
But
it's bad.
yeah, bad. Although our one shining light is we drafted best available with Brock Bowers, and we got a phenomenal tight end.
I'm so tired of Raider fans patting themselves on the back. We
I'm not.
fucking suck. But fucking Brock Bowers, fucking best tight end. Da, 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 da. Listen, he's going.
Gotta
bald
shine the
at-
light somewhere, Eddie.
No. AP needs to be fucking fired. Everything needs to be wiped out. Tom Brady, please save us. Tom Brady, please save us. Tom Brady, I say it every fucking night.
Rick Flores says this game and Chiefs games, you never know. Raiders always play better against these teams.
Oh, I mean, that's true.
Agree. Going to the next game though on Sunday Night Football, Eagles -2.5 going into LA to play the Rams with over under 50.5. Rams would come to life again with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua both being healthy and playing alongside each other. Can they get a win over against the Rams at home?
Let me go first, Rafa.
Go ahead.
I have absolutely no fucking take on this game. I'm gonna go get me some fucking wine and take a piss. The floor is yours.
Thank you.
I think the way the Eagles are playing, I think the Eagles have kind of cemented themselves as the second best team in the NFC right now. Beating Washington last week, they're getting 9 days of rest in this game. The Rams were in a tight game on the road in New England. Their offense looked good. I mean, fuck. I think Stafford had, 3 touchdown passes, like in 11 pass attempts or something. They had huge plays. I do like the over in this spot. I do think the Eagles are the second best team in the NFC. And they're one loss behind the Lions. So they're a game behind the Lions right now. You're also vying for a playoff spot. These are games that they can win, and they should win. especially that I think they still have to go into Washington. They get Dallas coming in, but we know that looks like to be done. So these are you start getting into that part of the schedule where if you're vying for a number 1 seed and you're a game behind right now, and these are games you have to have to going in on the road there in LA, and I think they can win. I think they win this game. I like the over. I think you're going to get a ton of points. I think you're going to get a lot of up and down from the Rams, and that Eagles defense. It's hit or miss with them. I feel like they're a little suspect. I feel like they're not as good as they should be, but they're also very young at a lot of positions. They're old, really old, or really young. There's no in between, right?
Between on them.
There's no fucking in between, right? Like you're either 33 or 23. Like
you're either 33 or you just got drafted and you're starting.
Yeah, you're like a year or two into this shit, So, but they played well. I like the Eagles in the spot. I think the Eagles cover. I like the over. I really love the over in this game, and that's on Sunday night, right?
Yeah, Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, you're gonna have a great. I think you're gonna have a great environment there at SoFi on Sunday night. I think it's gonna be a great game. You're gonna have a ton of Eagles fans there as well. I think you're in for a treat. I think you're in for a treat on Sunday night. But I do like the over, and I think the Eagles sneak it out. This is where we know if the Eagles are for real or not. Last year we saw them win a bunch of games, and we thought, oh, they're not playing well. This year they're winning games, but they're playing well, right? They're playing well. Like that game last week against Washington. That game we knew was over. Washington got a late touchdown, but in reality, I think that game was 26-10 or whatever, up right before the end of that. So I think the Eagles, they cover this game, and they will prove to everybody, all the naysayers out there, that they really are the second best team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
great take, Rafa.
Especially on the fact that their next 3 games, like you said, this is a must win because they play the Ravens, and then they play the Panthers, and then Pittsburgh. So those 2 or 3 games, very tough and definitely not easy.
Yeah, so you have gimme game, and I'm not saying a gimme game because no game in the NFL is a gimme. Yeah. No game, especially on the road against one of the 10 or 15 best quarterbacks in the league and one of the 10 or 15 best receivers in the league is ever a gimme game. But you are favored, you're playing well, and you're well rested. Mm-hmm. And this is a game you have to have in the Eagles.
Agreed.
And I believe they get it.
Shanae's at the Porsche dealer, and I got a video. I love this car.
There you
go. Going into these next 3 games, all very dependent of getting into the playoffs. Either someone getting knocked up, knocked down, or going into the first seed of that division. First up, we have a pick'em game. We have the Cardinals going into Seattle playing the Seahawks. Over under 47.5. You can get both teams at -110 for pick'em.
It's a big game for division purposes, obviously, like you said, Eddie Money. Playoff implications. Arizona's played well. They're coming off of their bye. And Seattle got a huge win last week against the Niners. I don't believe Seattle's a good team. Watching them on a week-to-week, that offense struggles at points. The defense, I think Kyler Murray's going to have a field day with these guys, and I like Arizona to win this game coming off of their bye. And I know it's tough to go into Seattle, but it's not as tough as it once was. And we've seen teams go in there.
It's always tough against the 12th man, Rafa. It's your.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that, Eddie. I saw an interview as of late. I think it's from Sherman or someone, like a very prominent Seahawks player. He said in the last several years that 12th man effect has gone away.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, not anymore.
Is it the meth? Exist. Is it the methamphetamines?
100%. It's all the fucking liberal hippies in Seattle.
The day that Rafa picks Seattle and anything is the day we end the show.
Yeah, put it this way. If the NBA was bringing back another NBA team and Seattle was the last thing, I'd fucking spend every minute I had to somehow push for the Supersonics not to return because I hate that city. The entire state is absolute shit. So, and it's going to be fucking raining on Sunday, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's always raining in Seattle.
Yeah, but they got that cyclone shit. Hopefully they blow the entire state off the fucking map. Flood it in fucking water.
Quick trend for this game. Seahawks in these last 5 matchups are 5-0 straight up. against the Cardinals. Cardinals, although, are coming off a bye. I feel like that is very big. And then for those looking at the total, the last 10 matchups, this is 7-3 to the under, with all the totals staying around 46, 47 for basically all the last 6 matchups.
Yeah, and if you're going to get rain, actually, then there might be a ton of rain with the cyclone thing. You actually might want to keep an eye on that under.
Eddie, who do you like?
I like the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks, man. They had a great win last week. They have talent. They have 2 good running backs. They have 3 good receivers. I like this coach. I've never been to Seattle. I heard it's beautiful. The Emerald City, they call it. I don't give a fuck. I like Pete Carroll. He's upstairs. And I was high coming in on Arizona. And they're just so inconsistent. And not that Seattle's been the poster child of consistency. But I'm telling you, man, that place is loud. They have momentum. Maybe people will stop doing methamphetamines and crack 2 days before, and they're going to show up. And I like Seattle. I do. I don't like Kyler on the road.
By the way, the Arizona Cardinals have won 4 in a row. Just so you know.
Yeah. And the video game,
They're still undefeated since the video games came out. And they're also 7-3 against the spread this season.
And on the road, by the way, they played Buffalo on the road in a tight game, 34-28. They went on the road to San Francisco and won. They lost at Green Bay, and they went to Miami and won that game.
Okay.
Came back to win that game, by the way.
Let's be real. I'm just going against Rafa on this one.
I respect the honesty here.
I love it. Let's get on to the next one.
This guy's super big game. 49ers going into Green Bay to play Jordan Love and the Packers, where they're favored by 2.5, over under 48. Get a shot at the 49ers being underdogs on the road. Fun fact real quick. Brock Purdy has had 37 career starts in the NFL and has only been an underdog once, and that was against the playoffs versus the Eagles in 2023.
And he didn't finish that game, by the way.
No, he did not.
Didn't finish the fucking first drive of the game, I believe.
No.
Oh, dude, I'm done with the Niners. And I know it's Niners-Packers. It's a big game. I'm done with Kyle Shanahan bullshit, overratedness, I believe. They need to do something to get back in my good graces, and they need a win in Green Bay on the road. So I don't know if they can get it. So, but it's going to be a phenomenal game, obviously. But let's see how they're injured. I don't even know if Kittle's even going to play this game.
He's questionable. For
yeah,
sure.
And he left last week at halftime, right, or in the second quarter or whatever.
It's better than doubtful.
I don't think he played at all.
It's better than doubtful, though. When you're questionable by Wednesday, there is, and he's from Iowa, and his wife is always right next to him. She's always in the front row, like, look at me. I'm fucking George Kittle's fucking wife, which annoys me like fucking crazy.
Sounds like
it does. It does. Like, when your husband wins a big game, like, don't be the first one on the court. When I really acquired a bad taste for Kobe is after a championship, she ran out on the court with the kids before he really got to celebrate with the teammates. I don't like that shit. It happened. Rafa, do you remember?
That was when they won, when they beat the Celtics, or they beat the Magic, I think.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not, listen. Oh, God. Yeah, I'll just shut up. Just shut up.
Can I get some choice words from your wife?
My wife would never fucking do that. She would, if I fucking shot a fucking 85 and was driving around in our foursome on the golf course, on my last putt, she would never run onto the course and hug me before I got to shake every man's hand, take my hat off like a respectable golf player, woman or man. she would never jump in the mix and be like, congratulations, husband. You're the reason I did this. Yeah, you know what? I'm off the rails. I'm sorry.
I agree with you, Ed. I agree with you. Fuck Kobe.
Well,
That's all you really wanted to say.
no, that's not what I said. That's not what I
That's not what he
said.
said at all.
Not what I
Sounds-
said.
That's
what
what
it
that's what
sounded-
Rafa got. That's what Rafa
That's what
got.
it sounded like to me.
I love George Kittle, and then I watched the receiver show, and she's just like just.
I know what you mean. I know
Okay,
what you mean,
okay.
Ed. We'll leave that for another. That's for
Okay.
yapping. That's yapping type
That's
shit.
a yapping. Yeah. Have me on a guest spot.
Oh my
for
God.
yapping.
Guest spot on yapping. We have a whole deal on it. Trust me, I've been trying to work that up for weeks. I just haven't
Yeah.
been able to word it, but I love what the take you took, and we're gonna ride with it.
I
Oh
still
my
don't
God.
know how to word it.
Oh no. You were going the right way. I know what the fuck you were saying.
I had
Trust
to
me.
stop. Yes,
Trust me,
had
I know
to
exactly what you were saying. I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about too. Let's
yeah.
fuck Kobe anyways. Let's get on with this game.
Oh,
Niners
said,
at the Packers. Packers -2.5. I'd stay away from
Will,
this game. I think
Will Hanley. There you go.
Went
Look
to
at
high
that.
school with George Kittle's wife.
Was
There
was
you go.
she was she an attention
a
person?
clinger. A clinger.
Was she very was she the most popular girl? Oh Jesus, Matt. Do not say that. Oh my God. Don't pop that up.
Pop it up.
I'm not
Pop it
reading
up.
that. I'm just
Pop
saying.
it up.
Get
Pop
rid of
it
that.
up.
Big
Pop it
Roach,
up.
Riley's that she was crazy back
Put
then,
it
too.
up.
Big Roach
Put
trying to
it-
get us killed.
Put it up.
No.
Oh,
She
my
was
God.
crazy back then too. Will Hanley, dude.
There it is.
This
Insider
stepping up.
information.
When are we gonna get Will on the show? Will, do you have a camera? Or I mean, who doesn't have a camera?
Look, a good thing Kobe left her piles of money. I love it.
Oh,
He also left her piles of his body.
Oh, man. Moving on to Monday Night
delete!
Football.
Delete!
I was on him.
Oh,
I was on him.
Move on. Move on.
moving on to
Andy.
Monday Night Football. We
I'm
got the
purple.
Harbaugh brothers on prime time. Ravens are favored by a field goal going into SoFi to play the Chargers. Over under a 51. Where do you see this game going, guys?
Real quick,
Harb-
by the way, real quick. The thing is, that since I have the podcast on my screen, I see the questions come in late, so they pop up late. So, but anyways, let's get on to Monday night, the Harbaugh Monday night. Oh my God!
Listen, this is my game of the week. I love me some John. I love me some Jim. I love the dad. Who has it better than us? Any money? Do you know?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Matthew Rocha came to clear the air real quick.
So here's my take. This is to me a must win for the Ravens. They've had some bad losses. Obviously, the Raiders was a horrible loss. I think last week was a bad loss. But in the spirit of the Harbaugh family, I feel like I could go back in time and see them in a huge station wagon. And John, who is, I looked it up, is 15 months older than Jim, right? Just like giving Jim the business. Like this is such a fucking awesome family dynamic. We all know they love each other, right? And like John gave him a coordinator, and they just love each other. But this goes back to the back of the station wagon when fucking John Harbaugh is giving Jim some wet willies, and Jim saying, Dad, John's doing this, whatever. This is a rivalry. I don't care what you say. This is a rivalry that I'm here for all day, every day. And I always pick the younger one. Like, that's why Jim did what he did, at the University of Michigan. Like, listen, the younger one always is more athletic. The younger one always has a chip on his shoulder. And I feel like like, although this is a must win for the Ravens, I feel like Jim, it will just have something special in a bag, and I feel like he's gonna get revenge on his big brother for all the wet willies in the station wagon. I don't know if that made any sense.
Well, I'll tell you what he's gonna try and get revenge is for that fucking Super Bowl loss.
Yep, that's what Messi Rosa just said. He's gonna
Well,
cut the power again.
There's also that.
So I look, and we did our power rankings earlier. I have the Chargers at 7. I have the Ravens at 5. I still believe that the Ravens are one of the most talented teams in the league. I believe they're the most talented team on offense by far. I love the Ravens on Monday night. I think the Chargers got away with one last week, jumped into a big lead, gave it away late, got a couple missed field goals by a kicker who's McPherson, who's been struggling this year. Going into that game, I think it was 13 of 17. And also the Ravens have struggles with their kicking game as well. I think they're going to change their style this week. I think they're going to go back and realize we need to feed Derrick Henry the rock. And Lamar needs to run the ball. Khalil Mack was out last week. We'll see if he's out again this week. And I think the Ravens win this game, and I think they win it rather easy. I think they're going to be up late, at probably by 10 or more late. I believe that the Ravens will go back to what wins them football games. If I understand it, 3,800 miles from fucking Baltimore, then the Ravens should understand it. I might be more. Matthew Roach is going to pull it up now and fucking let me know. Hey, you're fucking 4,109 miles from where you're sitting right now to Baltimore. But I think the Ravens come out, and I think the Ravens show and put the fuck to them early.
There it is.
I think they come out and they assert themselves and understand, like, listen, little brother, this is the NFL. This is the big time, and I'm the big time motherfucker.
Oh, stop it.
I'm just letting you know
this is the NFL. This is the NFL. Jim Harbaugh doesn't he's not a fucking rookie, Rafa.
Hey, he didn't win the Super Bowl, did he?
No, he didn't.
John wins the primetime games, baby.
He had Ray Lewis, man, and Ed Reed.
And Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Hall of Famer.
And Joe Flacco. So, and a bunch of other dudes, obviously. I like the Ravens. I think the Ravens bounce back, which they needed. And I think they bounce back, and I think Lamar has a phenomenal game. I think Lamar is going to throw the ball 21 times. He's going to throw for 3 touchdowns, and he's going to run for 80 or 90.
He said they're going to win because he's not throwing 22 times. He's throwing it 21 times.
100%. 22 or less for Lamar. 22 or less for Lamar and the Ravens to dominate football games. I'm tired of saying it week in and week out.
We say it every fucking week. We say it
and they don't fucking listen. This idiot Colin Cowherd goes on the fucking radio, starts his bullshit Dion to Dallas bullshit, and people listen to it. The other moron, Stephen A. Smith, with the same bullshit. And we've been saying in here for fucking 5 goddamn weeks. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens cannot throw the ball more than 22 times.
It's not rocket science, which leads me to the fact that I don't think they're going to do it again. Because it's so fucking obvious, and they haven't done it.
And they've done it. They have 4 losses, right? And what are the Ravens, Eddie Money? Is it 7-4?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's thrown more than 22 passes 6 times. They've lost 4 of them. The only 2 that they won were against. We need to sit down and look at this as a coordinator. At what point does somebody not say, check out fucking Rafa and Eddie on the 2 Nobodies? They've been telling us since week 5. So please send this to the fucking Ravens. Yes, Lamar Jackson, 21 pass attempts, 3 touchdowns, 85 yards rushing. Henry's going to have 18 to 22 touches for 105, and the Ravens are going to win this game by 10. Maybe a late touchdown at the end by the Chargers. But I think the Ravens win this game on Monday Night Football by 10 points. By the way, SoFi Stadium, you got a treat on Sunday night with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles coming into town. And then on Monday night, you get the Ravens and Lamar Jackson coming into town.
SoFi. Okay, so so it's gonna rain on SoFi. Let me just let the people know. The Raminator who follows us, who's the NFL, he was NFL Fan of the Year in 2023, dresses up like the Predator. Great guy. Met him, great guy. sat and told me that the SoFi Stadium is the best in the world. Let me just tell, I'm going to be Ed Stradamus right now and tell you on Tuesday what the clips will be, because SoFi Stadium, complete garbage, $5 billion build, is a canopy, has no sides. It's gonna rain, the floors will be slipping, you are going to see fights. It's gonna look like NHL hockey. People will have no traction. There will be fights because SoFi is straight garbage. And
Matthew Rocha says all that money and they can't close the top.
it's so
unbelievable.
stupid.
I have this argument with Charger and Rams fans all
They
the
think
time.
it's good. They think
Bro,
it's
like,
good.
Go to Allegiant, and then and I hate the Raiders, but the stadium, what they built there in Vegas, that's what a stadium should be. There's air conditioning, and guess what? They can never have a fucking weather delay. The Rams, they had SoFi had a weather delay for the national title game.
Yes.
How the fuck you have a weather delay because they're leaking water in a corner? It's insane.
And on the opposite side of that spectrum, Rafa, I went to the home opener. My buddy has, and listen, when I go to SoFi, I have VIP 40-yard, fucking. I mean, I have the best seats in the house, free drinks, everything, and I still hate it. I went to game 1, 98 degrees, Papa, 98 degrees. Chargers, Raiders, and fucking Antonio Pierce wearing his fucking black hoodie. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
Garbage.
Fired week 1.
Garbage.
Yes. So
Rick-
Raven.
Rick Flores said, "Slip and slide your way out."
Dude, it's so bad. They've gotten sued. It's so bad.
But that wraps up all of the main games for the week. I will just do the last bit, call it the playbook. Everybody gives their favorite play of the week. Who would like to go first?
Well, I'll make it quick. What's the spread on the Ravens and Chargers?
3.
3.
I go with the younger brother. My play of the week is Chargers. Taking, or are they getting 3 points or giving 3 points?
Chargers
They're
are getting 3 points.
Getting 3 at home.
Oh, easy money, Papa. Jim Harbaugh and the Wet Willies. He's gonna beat his older brother, man. Give me 3. Give me 3 in the Chargers. Justin Herbert's a dog. And McConkey, steal. McConkey's legit.
I'm gonna give you a pick. I'm gonna give you an underdog. A roo pick. I'm gonna give you a dog. I'm gonna give you Tommy Cutlets and the New York Giants at home. At home, hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And a lot of people have come out and said, you know what? Mark Schlereth came out and said the Giants are a joke. He wasn't even the backup, and now you bring in this sideshow to come in and play. Listen, when he came in last year, it ignited the fan base a little bit. Like at this point, the Giants need something to ignite something. Like we know that's not your guy going forward, but he's igniting the fan base. There's going to be people in there that weren't in there a couple weeks back to watch the shit show that is the New York Giants. So you're going to get people in there to watch. I think the fans are going to be excited. And the kid plays fun football for what they are.
They should give gabagool sandwiches away, when DeVito plays. I agree, Rafa, but let's not get it twisted. The reason they're not playing what's his name from Missouri? Drew Lock is because there's incentives. If he plays so much, they have to pay him. This is 100% a tank move and trying to save money. That's why that GM should be fucking fired. I said it fucking a long time ago. But I agree with you, Rafa. He brings a spark. He brings a spark to that team, and I'm here for it, man.
It's just there's players that fans like, and that's you don't see it a lot in the NFL. As far as a guy who doesn't play a lot, you see it more like in the NBA. Like when Scalabrine was on the Celtics and he'd come in late in the game, you'd see Boban with the Clippers and he'd come in and people would get all excited. Like those he gives off that vibe, and he gets the town talking and motivated. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, for a team that's whatever 2-7, 2-8, 3, whatever the fuck they are, the season's over with. But I think he gives them some sort of the fans get excited to see him, and I think they're going to cover the 6 at home against Tampa Bay. That's my pick of the week. Underdog, the G-Men, the New York Football Giants, +6 at home with Tommy Cutlets on the field calling the plays.
Don't forget
Gabagool.
about the gabagool,
Ooh.
Rafa. The gabagool.
All right, so you guys gave 2 underdogs. I'm gonna give a first half favorite. I'm taking the Texans first half -4.5 against the Titans. The Texans are the best first half team in NFL. They're 10-1 against the spread in the first half. The Texans will also have Nico Collins playing in full. Last game he played at about 50% of snap share. And Tennessee Titans are the worst team against the spread. They're 1-9 against the spread the whole season. And they only got to beat them by a touchdown in 1/2. I like my odds.
What about
like
the
that pick.
What about the gabagool though? The great fact, City, but there's no gabagool.
How you doing?
How you doing? And Tommy DeVito's agent just works wonders.
Oh,
All
yes.
leather with the fedora.
Is he still his agent?
I'd have to hope so. No way he's
How
not.
could he not? How could he not? Are you kidding?
Bro.
Plus, he was sent by you know, the families. That's the family's agent. He handles the shit.
Mhm.
Go and handle Tommy.
He's
Go
a
and
friend of ours. He's a friend of ours.
handle it.
Matthew Rose said Giants have more reasons to get rid of GM than the Jets.
I agree. I've said it. Shane, however the fuck you say his name, his kid on HBO said, "Dad, do what you got to do. Go get Jaden Daniels." I mean,
We know that was impossible. You can't keep bringing that up.
no, because I got this.
I don't like this take, Eddie.
This is
because
not
I
take
got
it.
no.
It's never always possible.
No, that
Any-
wasn't possible at all.
Okay, in my lifetime, I saw Mike Ditka trade away every pick in the draft for Ricky Williams. So I don't want to hear it's not possible. I don't want to hear it.
So is he
Yeah, but he
going to
traded
trade
it
away
for a
every
running
single
back.
pick and then they're fucked for like the next 5 years? And if he
But
he fails
that's
on
not the
that
point. That's not the point. That's not the point at all. Because if you have a guy that you can get at quarterback, you can trade away whatever the fuck you want. The problem is Mike Ditka did it for a running back. So it was fine to jump in that spot that they jumped in. You weren't jumping in over the teams that all took a quarterback. Like the Bears were never trading out, and the Redskins were never going to trade out. New England either. They all needed a quarterback.
In the episode during the combine, he's like, "I'm going to go walk over to the Patriots and see if we can get the 3rd pick," which was Drake May, who I loved. You guys didn't believe. You could have made a deal. Okay, so you didn't get Jaden. You could have. Well, first of all, you doubled down on your mistake on Vanilovic. That's mistake number 1. Number 2, don't tell me that you couldn't have gone from 6 to 3. Don't tell me you couldn't have gone from 6 to 3, because most 5th, 6th, 7th round picks don't hang around. Okay, so I'm not letting this dude off the hook. Screw that. I agree with you, Matt. The GM from the Giants should be gone. And I hate to be negative and call for people's jobs, but bro, your son had better vision, man.
He picked Jaden Daniels. He couldn't have drafted Jaden Daniels if his life depended on
Okay, but I just said you could have made a deal for Drake May.
Okay. What's Drake May's record?
No.
I mean, what's Drake May's record?
He's literally on the worst team in the NFL as far as talent.
And the Giants removed Malik Neighbors from the offense. They're the worst team on offense as well. They're up there as well. You got lucky with Tracy. You found Tracy, and who knows?
I'm with him there.
So
all right, awkward silence.
you don't have Malik Neighbors if you trade away a pick. So you literally have nothing.
You know what?
Yeah, he has Wando Robinson as a wide receiver 1.
Yes, I will.
The Giants, real quick, the Giants will end up better next year, in the upcoming years, without trading away for trading up for a quarterback because they got Malik Neighbors. They can draft a quarterback next year.
Give me a franchise quarterback over the best receiver in the NFL every fucking time. What did the Raiders do with Devontae Adams? With garbage. Who cares if you have fucking Charles fucking Megatron Johnson at fucking receiver if you have Gardner Minshew at quarterback? I'm sorry.
They're going to have a rookie next year. They'll draft a guy next year. But you were going to have Drake May with nothing. At least now
and you build around him.
No. But guess what? Now I have Drake May, who is he better than other guys? Next year, we don't know. But I'd rather have Malik Neighbors and Shadur, for example, just saying, a potential, or Cam Ward and Malik Neighbors over fucking Drake May and nobody else, because you wouldn't have had a first-round pick this year.
Dion's not letting his son go to either New York team, by the way. But I feel a cut bet. I feel a cut bet coming on. Best record next year. Patriots.
That's too early for that.
Or Giants. Why is that too early?
Next year, because next year the Giants.
You don't even know who's draft. You don't know who the draft.
I don't care.
It doesn't matter. Next year, the Giants will have a rookie quarterback. Next year, the Giants will have a rookie quarterback, and the Patriots will have a second-year quarterback.
My point is, I'd rather have Drake May than Malik Neighbors. That's my point. You don't like
where your line of thought is going.
No, I don't. No, I don't, because, and I said this before. Daniel Jones got them to a playoff, and then he got hurt. So you had to give him one more year anyways. I know you don't like that, but it was a fact. He didn't finish. He
got him there. He ran the ball more than he fucking passed the ball.
So does Lamar Jackson. He's better running than he is passing. I'm not saying Daniel Jones is Lamar Jackson, but you had to give him another opportunity because he was injured. He took you to the playoffs, and then from there, he got hurt the next year. You already paying him. You had to give him a shot.
Daniel Jones never passed for more than 16 fucking touchdowns in his career.
Wonderful.
And you paid him $40 million.
They paid him. Fine. They made a mistake. The Raiders drafted Jamarcus Russell. The Raiders drafted Jamarcus number 1. Oh, no. He took them because he won a playoff game as well. He won a playoff game.
The team did.
Eddie,
and he was Daniel
the quarterback. Jones. And he was the quarterback. Don't discredit him winning a playoff game and then throwing him away. You can't just throw him away.
I will not throw him away. I will not discredit. But you don't give a quarterback who's never thrown more than 16 touchdowns $40 million contract. You do it fucking take a page out of fucking Jerry Jones. Franchise tag his ass. But they used it on the guy that they should have fucking paid, which is Saquon Barkley. They used a franchise tag on a guy who is a perfect fit for Philadelphia Eagles. This is karma at its best. And I love that Saquon Barkley, I hope they come out of the fucking NFC, and I hope they go to the fucking Super Bowl, because this is karma. That GM, Shane, whatever the fuck your name is, you should be fucking gone.
They made a mistake, yes. 100%. There was a mistake made when they paid him. But the man won a playoff game on the road.
Trent Dilfer won a fucking Super Bowl.
And it's also a different time because Nick Foles won a Super Bowl and then he made a bunch of money. So don't forget that.
Nick Foles is actually a good quarterback. Nick Foles is actually good.
Come on.
U of A. Don't shit on. Don't shit on.
There was a lot of hype though of Daniel Jones that year, to be fair.
Dude, listen, if they wouldn't have paid him, somebody else would have paid him, and they would have fucked up. You cannot go based on bad quarterbacks. Matt Flynn, Matt Schwab. The list is endless of bad quarterbacks that have gotten paid in this league. It is literally endless. Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, shit we're seeing right now. The list is endless. What they got in Daniel Jones was a 4-year deal at $160 million, which with 2 years of commitment. The 2 years is up. Or this is the third year, whatever it was. You needed to give him one more year because the year that he played in full, the previous year that he played in full, they made the playoffs and won a playoff game. That's why I think they did not take a quarterback. And they had to give him another chance. We know that he shit. I've known that he shit forever. I didn't like him. I was shocked that they even won a playoff game. but they won a playoff game.
Well, then franchise tag him and pay Saquon. What's the difference between the offer that Saquon got with the Giants and the Eagles? Would they give him $2 more million? $2 more million? You're in the biggest market in the United fucking States. Give him a fucking Uber fucking Lyft fucking.
Eddie, let me ask you something. Do you think if Saquon Barkley's on the Giants, do you think they even win 2 more games right now?
Yeah, that's a fucking amazing question, Rafa. I hate that you asked that because the answer is probably no. That's a great point. But
what am I doing with Saquon Barkley on the Giants? If last year when I had Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones' first 5 or 6 games, whatever it was he played, I think he lost to the Cowboys twice by a combined like 70 plus points. Saquon wasn't able to do shit.
No, Saquon had a great year his last year with the Giants. He was great. He was really good.
If you knew, you know what? If we want to analyze it the correct way, we should actually analyze that the GM was smart enough to not pay Saquon because he knew Daniel Jones was absolute shit, but he needed to fucking ride it out 1 more year.
Fucking, we have gone full circle.
We've gone full circle of the shit.
It's a great argument. I know that if my son
wrestles, this Eddie Money, by the way.
Yeah, if my son, there's some dude at Barstool. I talked about it. He did a master's. What do you do? Hypothesis, or when you do a master's, a thesis on New York quarterbacks. The odds of being a good quarterback with the Jets. I mean, Eli was an anomaly.
And he wasn't great.
He wasn't great. He was
really bad or really good.
Yes.
There was never anything in between. Like, he wasn't. I'll tell you who he's like. If we could do a comp of Eli was like, and Eli won Super Bowls. So I don't know if we can. But I think he was like, the years that he was really bad, he's like this year Trevor Lawrence bad.
Oh, 30 interceptions. 30 interceptions bad, Rafa. 30 interceptions.
Really, really bad. And then the two runs that he had, he was really, really good. But also the 2 runs that he had, the defense was also really, really good. Yeah. He did make his throws and his plays and all of that. He was really, really good, but also really, really bad. There was no fucking in between.
Yeah.
So there was no ever in between.
The teams were great in New York. You had great defenses. You had Tiki Barber. You had good tight ends. I mean, and Tom Coughlin was a great head coach. Great head coach. So I'm just saying, I hate to bring everything back to Dion, but I'm not going to New York. I'm not going to New York, Jets or Giants. And
by the way, I think the Giants are one of the teams that he was okay with his kid going to.
Not a chance.
You should double check that list. If Eddie Money, if you can find it real quick.
I thought it was one. You could check any list. You can't trust that GM.
He'll be gone, Ed. He's going to be gone.
I hope so. He
might look like a genius for not paying Saquon, though.
I don't see how.
You know what? It wouldn't have got him any more wins. That's all I'm saying.
Can we say this about Saquon? That he went to the perfect, like he is the perfect fit for Jalen Hurts and that offense. Like it's a hand in glove, man. It was so good. And how the GM from the Giants didn't see that. Shame on you, man. Shame on you.
That's a fact. That's a good way to wrap it up. Chris Too Far, or Christopher, he's just joining the show, but he said Joe Burrow's a part of the problem. He doesn't have that clutch factor this season. We touched on it at the beginning.
Thank you,
that's
Chris.
hard.
Thank you.
That's hard, man. That's hard to. I guess if you're gonna bring up facts, but I don't feel like Joe is the issue.
I guess really if you want to bring up facts.
I like Joe.
We're not going to use facts. We can love Joe. 27 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. We can love him. The problem is
the defense.
It's not the defense. I mean, it is the defense, but not the defense. Like, what happened when it was? Why did you only score 6 points for the first fucking 38 minutes of the game?
Because the Chargers defense is really good.
Michael Brown says, by the way, go ahead.
He said,
I'll tell
"Why
you why
sign
Michael
Drew
Brown.
Lock for $5 million and to not play him? Should have given him to Saquon to keep him." By the way, a side note to this, he was told reportedly throughout the whole season that he would be QB2 if anything were to happen with Daniel Jones. And when they announced Tommy DeVito as a starter, him and the rest of the locker room was in shock.
Well, it's 100%. So Drew Lock was actually highly pursued. He could have went to other teams, but he knew who the fuck Daniel Jones was, and he knew that he would probably get an opportunity to play. So he signed an incentive laced contract, and now he's getting fucked. He's getting fucked big time. And I'm not a Drew Lock fan. He dances like a dork. Is he still married to the Chiefs owner's daughter? Like, he don't need money.
No clue.
Yeah, no, Michael Brown, great point. Great freaking point.
Moises says, great podcast. And then Matthew Rocha says, NFC and AFC North, top 2 divisions in NFL. Bengals are the little brother again.
Yeah.
Thank you, Moises. And Matthew's 100% right. And Michael Brown, what I said was that even if if the Giants had Saquon, how much better would they be? 2 wins? Would they be 4-6?
Stop bringing up your great point, Rafa.
It just makes the GM not look as bad.
Stop bragging about your good point. That's pretty good. My wife's here. She says, "You want to come look outside at the Cayenne GTS?" Yeah, right.
But that's a good way to wrap up the show. Phenomenal show today, boys. Thank you for Matthew Rocha, Will Hanley, Michael Brown, and some new faces, Christopher Moises for popping in today, and Rick Flores as always.
Always. And Rick says he missed fire or hire. Rick, you want to give us a fire before we get out of here?
Yeah, is it Colorado?
I want to hear an apology from Rick on Colorado.
Boom. Okay, he said he wanted to hire Big Vern from Power Slab. Don't ever come to Los Angeles because I'll put him to work making fences.
Damn right.
Dude, Big Vern is a G at building fences. And we were going to have Big Vern on this week. Dude, Big Vern is the most loyal dude. He reposts all my son's shit. Every video you see Big Vern in, we got to send him more gear. He's in Two Nobodies stuff. Big Vern, we support you. We love you. We'll always be your number 2 fans because I know your kids and your wife are number 1. But dude, that dude called me on Saturday and we had a great conversation. He's so down for us and we're so down for him. I guess can we say that his fight got rescheduled, not canceled?
Rescheduled for the end of January in Saudi Arabia, where he will be in front of the crown prince and he will be crowned the champion.
Bro, I feel like if he wins, if he wins over there, like the prince is gonna give him like a Richard Mille watch or something, here is a Rolls Royce and a fucking 20-year-old to take home.
Oh well, he's got Shannon, so there's not going to be no 20-year-old, but definitely the Rolls Royce and the Richard Mille will definitely go.
Sorry,
down. We should try and make it. We should try and make it to Saudi Arabia.
I am never going to Saudi Arabia. Number 1, because I have too many tattoos. They don't like tattoo people, and they don't drink. And I'm not a huge drinker, but I'm not going.
We're going to try and make it, Big Vern. We're going to try and make it. I'm going to convince Eddie. We're going to try and make it to Saudi Arabia, baby.
Matthew Roach says Big Vern's the definition of dad strength. And Rick Flores
Facts.
fired. He said the only reason why Colorado is good, and you said it, is because who they are playing.
Thank you, Rick Flores. I know that's going to hurt CJ's ass crack, but it's a factual statement.
But once again, thank you for everyone joining in.
Thanks for everyone, man. We love you guys. That's episode 106 in the books. We'll see you next Wednesday. Please share with your friends. Please let them know that we're good guys. We are Two Nobodies, but that's the reason we named it Two Nobodies, because we don't think we're above anyone. We invite anybody. Like when people talk shit about us, I get it. I would talk shit if I saw me in a podcast as well. And I know
Factual
I
statement.
would. I'm
Factual
a,
statement.
I have marbles in my mouth. My brain is just wacky. But if you enjoy it, share it with your friends. And we love you guys. Thank you, Papa. Thank you, Rafa. Thank you, Eddie
Thank
Money.
you guys. Good show tonight.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys for tuning in. Have a good night.